Hello, and welcome to this month's edition of InDesign Newsletter, where I teach you tips and tricks and general things about InDesign. Who am I? I am Andrea Baslassen. I'm an Adobe community professional. I am also a graphic and web design instructor for a college. So now that you know who I am, let's get started. Okay, so now we're over in InDesign, and what we're going to create is a presentation about Earth Day. Woo, yay, right? We need to celebrate our Earth. So what we're gonna do is already I have the document set up at the 16:9 ratio, which is 1920 by 1080 for us. So that's how we have it set up. All the defaults are the same, the margins, all of that fun stuff. So we're inside of the document. And what we're gonna do is I already have most of the stuff already in my layers panel to save us some time. Because we have other videos that you can watch where you'll see how to set up your document, how to bring your documents, how to bring your elements in, how to style them and things like that. We are going to do a little styling today, but a lot of what we're going to do is already done. So I'm going to click on the layers panel. Also, if you don't see this setup, if yours does not look like mine, go up here to your workspace and you're going to choose essentials because that's what I'm working in. And then you should be where I am. All right, so I'm going to go to my layers panel, and in my layers panel, I already have layer 1 or page 1 where you will see these 5 layers are here. So inside of here, I have my background image. Love this image. And of course, every image that I got is from Adobe stock because it is amazing, right? So this is one image inside of Adobe stock. And when I look for images, I usually, in this case, I wanted something where I had a lot of room to put type because I'm going to put big type because it's a presentation. And we're not going to have a lot of words, but I just want to show you how you can create your presentation. So this is your image. And then next, we're going to go to some type that I already have. And the type that I use for happy is Alex Brush. And this is at 250 points. And if I hover over it, now I have a spinning wheel, hopefully you're seeing, but if I hover over it, you'll see Alex Brush and 250 points for that one. And then I have Earth Day, and that one is Bada Boom Pro BB, and this is 300 points font, which is very, very nice. And then I'm gonna go, I also have a layer that I did for the drop shadow, but we're gonna go over a few techniques with that. And then all the way at the top is this layer of, I love this image, sorry, because this image is, I like the view of it. And what I'm after is texture. So those are the elements that we're going to use. So I like the background. I like this interaction with the Happy Earth Day. I also angled this just a little bit. And to angle something, you just hover over the corner and then you turn it to the angle that you want. So I did do the angle with that. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and work on this Earth Day. So I'm going to select Earth Day. And what I want to do is give it an effect like a drop shadow. So I'm going to go over here, select Earth Day, and I'm making sure that I'm selecting the box or the bounding box. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my effects right here. And what I want to do with this one is click on drop shadow. Now, you'll see that there are a lot of options inside of here. So we have our drop shadow. We have, it is set to green because that's what I have it set at. It defaults as black, so yours might be black. So if you want to get that green, all you do is click inside the color and and then you can choose any color that you have on your swatches, or you can choose RGB, CMYK, Lab, HSB colors as well. I'm okay with mine, so I'm just gonna click that. So I kind of like how that's looking, but if I wanted to change it, like let's say I wanted it more crisp, I could choose normal, and then normal, you'll see the edges for normal are very smooth and very defined. Whereas edges with multiply gets a little bit lighter, and the edges aren't as sharp. Okay, so let me go to screen, and you can see the screen gets a little bit lighter and the edges aren't as sharp as well. Overlay, so forth and so forth. So definitely play inside of the different modes, because you can get some really, really cool reactions. I'm gonna keep it at multiply. I can play with the opacity of it, where it gets lighter, or more of the background shows through, or less of the background shows through. I can play with distance, angle, offsets, and size. But right about now, I'm going to say we're okay. I can also do the inner shadow, and the inner shadow, you have to click it, select it to affect it, right? You have to select it till it's highlighted. And I can go and I can play with different things for the inner shadow that I might like. I can also, again, change the color. Let's just say I wanted it to be red for whatever reason. I wouldn't do that, but let's just say I did. All right, and I can play with the offset and angle and stuff like that. I also can give it some noise, but just play. That's the whole thing. I'm going to uncheck that. I'm going to go here to outer glow. You have similar options in there, and so forth and so on. Bevel and emboss. If you guys are familiar with Photoshop, a lot. Bevel and emboss is used a lot. It used to be too much, but now I think people are toning down that a little bit. But you have options that you can play with inside to make the bevel and emboss too. You can go outer bevel, emboss. You could make it larger, get ridiculous with it. You can soften those edges or soften the bevel just a bit. You can play with the depth, you can play with the angle, you can play with a lot. So definitely explore this menu, but I'm actually going a different route. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go old fashioned. So I'm just gonna, and I already have the one that I wanna use done, but just for kicks and giggles, I'm going to hold Alt or Option, depending if you're on a PC or if you're on a Mac, whichever one, hold Alt or Option. I'm going to duplicate this Earth Day text by just dragging it down. So when you hold Alt, you see that it became that double arrow, and then I can do whatever I want with it. So what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to play a little bit. So I'm going to change, I'm going to change the color to this one to maybe that red. Now, when I changed the color, it changed the bounding box, and that's not what I wanted it to do. So I'm going to undo that by hitting Command or Control Z. And what I want to do instead is click on this T. See how right here it was selected at the box. I'm going to click on this T to select the type. So now it knows that's what I want to affect. So now if I choose that same blue, of course, I'm in the stroke, but I actually want a stroke, but I'm gonna undo until I'm ready. And I'm gonna make the foreground active. Now I'm gonna click on the blue, and then I'm going to click on the stroke and go ahead and make that blue as well. And so now I have my fill and stroke in that blue, okay? So what I wanna do next is I'm going to either boost up the stroke just a bit. Maybe I want to boost it to 6, I don't know. And then I'm going to go ahead and reposition this right on top. Just a little bit. I'm going to nudge it to where you can't tell it's on the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go down to arrange, and I'm going to go send backward because I just want this behind this. So now what I can do, it's already giving me a nice shadow, is I can bring it down a little bit and bring it over, and I can get a personalized drop shadow just the way that I want it, But that's not what I'm gonna do, because I don't want that drop shadow. Like I said, I already have my drop shadow that I want to use, but I just wanted to show you that technique. So I'm gonna hide that one because that's not what I want. I already have a drop shadow that I want in here. Where are you? Scooby Dooby Doo. Let's see, there we go. All right, so actually I was showing you the actual drop shadow all along. So this is my text, and that's the drop shadow that I have under it, which is the yellow. But you create it in the same exact way that we did. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to, let's look at it. Let's see. Okay, I like that. Now I'm going to hit W. W is how you can look at your preview mode. So now, right now, I'm looking in preview mode, and if I hit W again, I'm looking at how it's going to look when it prints, right? So I like this. I'm feeling this. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go and grab that forest. There we go. Look at that. And again, the purpose of this for me is I am after the texture. So what I'm going to do is see how it blends in with the background. So I'm going to go to my effects again, and I can get to effects over here as well. So I'm going to select the image, and then I'm going to click effects, and I'm going to choose transparency. It's going to open up a dialog box. What I want in this one, in this case, is to go over here to basic modes, basic blending, and I'm going to choose multiply and see how it looks with that one. And I mean, it's interesting. It's a little dark. So let's try screen. Okay, screen looks nice. I actually like this. This is kind of cool. That's not the one that I'm gonna go with, but it is cool. But you can go through and pick just different ones. I always encourage you, look at that, that's different. I always encourage you to do different ones so you can see what each does. Look at hue. Now that's a nice one. That's pretty cool. And then maybe color. Let's look at that. That's nice too. All of these are really nice, but the one that I'm going to choose for this is overlay, because I really like the way that it interacts with that image underneath. And that's really, really nice. And honestly, I could be done right here because I absolutely like the way it did the letters, and I like the way that they kind of look like cut out. It's beautiful, but I actually want my letters to be on top. So what I'm going to do is go to my layers panel, and I'm going to grab this JPEG. The way I know it's that one is the little blue square. If I hide it, yep, that's the one. And I'm going to move it under all the text. So now that effect isn't on top of the text, it's blending really nicely with the image below, and I love it. So this is the start of my presentation. Well, I've already have page 2 created to save us time. So what I'm going to do is go to my layers panel, and I'm just going to collapse one, and you'll see there's 1 and there's 2. I'm going to lock this one so I don't accidentally mess anything up. And what I'm going to do is to get to page 2 over here in my properties panel, I see page 1. I can go and click on page 2. And as soon as the spinning wheel is done, then you're going to see page 2. And here we go. And with page 2, as you can see, I did the I have an extra. I just noticed that. With page 2, I did the, I have the image, that same image for the texture, but I have that one on top. So I like that. Let me see that make every day right here? That should not be there. So I'm just trying to see where that's coming from. It should just be 1. Maybe it was a screen thing. Maybe it's actually fixed. Sometimes that happens. There it is. Yeah, I think it was just my screen refresh. Okay, so now I have image 2 set, right? So that was image 1. This is image 2. What I'm going to do is go back to page 1. And now I'm going to show you how we would present this. So this is my presentation. It's very short. And I'm going to hit Shift W. Now, that's the shortcut way. If you go the long way, or another way is we can go in our toolbar at the bottom. And if you hover, you'll see the different modes. You'll see preview, bleed, slug, and presentation mode. and presentation mode is the one that we want. So I'm going to click on presentation mode and it takes us in the presentation mode. But anyway, so you would click through the presentation and it would show you the different ones. So all you do is the down arrow. So now I'm at the end of the presentation and I'm saying, hey, what we went through was this, that, and other. Make every day Earth Day. And that is really how easy it is to make the presentation. So if you remember that Shift W, no matter what program you're in or what computer you're on, if you're on a PC, Shift W, if you're on a Mac, Shift W, it just works. And you can create several pages this way and use InDesign to create your presentation. How lovely is that? It's just wonderful. All right, so hopefully you like the presentation. If you have ideas of anything else that you would want to learn, please let me know. All right, so I'm gonna go in presentation mode by holding Shift W, and here is my exit. All right, so again, I am Andrea Beth-Lasson. If you need to contact me or you want to contact me, this is my contact information for Instagram, Behance, and YouTube. And again, if you like the video, please like, comment, subscribe. That helps the algorithm and also helps me know that you really enjoyed it. So until next video, ta-ta for now. Ta-ta.